I have 3 short sponsor messages before we get into today's show. First, if you have a great domain name and nothing to show when people visit, you're missing out on potential advertising revenue, leads, and partnership opportunities. NicheWebsites.com can build you a site quickly with a price option to suit any need. But as their tagline says, they don't just build websites, they build businesses. Second, if you're buying or selling a domain name or a portfolio and you want an estimate of its value, Estimate.com is the place to go. Just like you'd visit Zillow.com to get an estimate of a house value, Estimate.com provides key information about the most important statistics so you can make an informed decision based on data. Finally, DNX.com is a domain name exchange that uses a reverse auction platform to provide fair market prices for quality domain names that are manually filtered by an experienced broker. At DNX.com, domain prices drop until someone decides the price is right. But don't wait too long or the domain you love might be purchased by someone else. All 3 sponsors have a clickable banner in the upper right-hand corner of DomainSherpa.com. Here's your program.
Behind you?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sleep with NameJet. Hey everyone, I'm Michael Sliger, publisher of DomainSherpa.com, and this is the Domain Sherpa Review. This is the show where we get into the minds of successful domain name investors using real examples so we can learn strategies and tactics. We have 3 sections to the review: an investor-submitted domain name portfolio to discuss and value, a marketplace list from NameJet.com, and we're going to wrap it all up with our Name That Price game. Joining us today on the Domain Sherpa Review are 3 past Sherpas and thought leaders. In order from left to right, we have Adam Dicker, CEO of dnforum.com and nichewebsites.com, the company that will help you build, rank, and update your business website. Filling in for Andrew Rosener is Jeff Gabriel. Jeff is the Vice President of Sales for DomainNameSales.com and is the broker of record for the Guinness Book of World Records highest domain-only sale of sex.com. And Paige Howe, founder and president of JoeDomains.com and DomainOutlet.com. Sherpas, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
We tried this earlier, and we had a little bit of a snafu with the bandwidth, so we're going to give it another shot. We're jumping right into the first section here. In the Domain Portfolio Review, we take user-submitted domain name portfolios and provide honest and constructive feedback to the owners. If you're watching this show on YouTube, click on the link in the description below to see the list of domain names discussed on today's show. Today's portfolio was submitted by Oren Arbit. Oren was going to join us from an airplane ride. We're going to try and get the Wi-Fi going on the airplane and have him join us. We thought it'd be fun, but it doesn't look like there's Wi-Fi on the flight that he's on. So we're going to miss you, Oren. As part of Oren's submission, he made a generous donation to the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center to help us all find a cure for cancer. So thank you for that, Oren. Oren's list of 27 domain names starts with apartmentstyles.com, and the list ends with a 4-letter acronym, AXNV.com. Paige, let's start with you. What domains do you like on Oren's list, and what retail price would you set on them if you own them?
Well, I don't like all that many, so I'm going to revisit some themes that we've gone over before, which is I think most of these names fall in a category for me where their wholesale value would be 0, their bid value, meaning what they could get wholesale, and they have some potential value. There's no doubt that they could be great names or great websites. But as a domain investor, I'm looking for names that have multiple sources of demand that I believe, have value above and beyond the fact that they could be good websites or domain names. So I'll try to go over a few that I liked. Qualified appraisers, I had to stretch to like, but I started going into the idea that maybe you could have a directory, but again, you could have a directory of different appraisers, and that they would put their qualifications so you could make it some type of social, domain road or antiques roadshow type thing. So again, I was really stretching to find a reason to like it. But then if I was in that business, it was the 2 words that you wanted, it was in the proper order. The second one I thought had a little bit of appeal was talk to lenders. Everyone does want to do everything online, but maybe you do want to talk to them, so I tried to give that one some appeal. And then I stretched for Moby postage, win big prizes, and maybe fan packages for travel packages and something like that. So I was really stretching to find ones that I thought would have a value to as a domain investor to sit there and hold, whereas they all would have value if you developed them, and they all obviously would have value if someone woke up that morning and said, I want to be this exact thing. But I thought from a wholesale point of view that he probably should shoot higher in terms of allocating his capital to names that could hold their value.
So if you were to put let's say that you own these domain names in your portfolio page, and you were expecting end users to contact you, the qualified appraisers, the talk to lenders, the Mobi postage, the fan packages, what would you price them at?
Most of them about $2,500. Greek frozen yogurt's the only one I didn't mention, maybe $2,500.
Yep.
And I'd be looking to take offers above maybe $500 for most of them.
Okay. All right. Jeff, let's go to you. What do you think about this list? You know, you take a look at an enormous amount of lists, I'm sure, every single day from domain investors that want to sell them. You probably receive domains like this in a portfolio. What would you say to Oren in this case?
I think one of the things that I look at as a salesperson and find the opportunity to find a buyer, or if a buyer were to come to me and I'm negotiating it, is the amount of competition that you have to compete with the other domains that are available and on the market. And when I was looking at the list, unfortunately, I found like he has great condorentals.com, and real estate domains usually hold a good amount of value. There's always demand. But unfortunately, online condorentals.com is not registered. Go Condo Rentals is not registered. EcoCondoRentals.com is not registered. NewCondoRentals.com is not registered. And then if you get into these surgical names he owns, he has Las Vegas and Hollywood. Well, San Diego, Pittsburgh, San Antonio, Vegas, Sacramento, all of those are not registered. So like what Paige said, if someone were to inquire on it, whether it's an end user or a domainer, whoever it is, I would probably price it around a few $1,000 because any legitimate business person is going to spend that on no matter how good or bad the domain is. And I would probably take what I could get. The one name that stuck out to me that I think I liked the most was the Greek frozen yogurt. Up until about, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe I'm not in the whole yogurt scene, but I didn't know what Greek yogurt was. And I think it's starting to gain some popularity. Mm-hmm. And I've never seen Greek frozen yogurt for sale, but I could see it starting to become something in malls. Mm-hmm. So I'd probably, like Paige said, I wrote $3,000, $3K and a big thing right there in a circle. That's what I would list that at, and I would take a few $1,000, and maybe that'll turn into something in the next five years. But everything else, talk to lenders is catchy, but again, a few $1,000. But everything else, I think you should go through them and look at maybe if some make some money on parking and see if you can. If not, think about dropping a lot of them. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Now, what about, he's got a few real estate related ones, Jeff. The Tempe market, Tempe, Arizona, of course, Palo Alto Estates. Palo Alto is a very, relatively affluent area. And then he had one more, the Great Condo Rentals. And you did a great job identifying that, you can put a bunch of different adjectives right in front of condo rentals and that aren't registered. So it sort of gives you an idea of the value of that one. Do you like the Tempe market and the Palo Alto Estates, or are those similar in nature to the Great Condo Rentals and it's just a little bit too unspecific for a geographic domain name?
I don't really know what Tempe market means. That could be a grocery store or it could be real estate. You're just kind of making that assumption, I think, because it's sitting on top of another list of real estate names. But as a business owner, I probably wouldn't be very excited in Tempe market to buy it and use it as my identity, as my business, as myself, as an individual or a company. Palo Alto Estates is okay, but it doesn't flow off the tongue very easily. I'm not really in love with it. Obviously, it's a wonderful piece of real estate, very valuable homes there. I guess you put that $2,500 or $3,000 price tag on it and see where it brings you.
Yeah. But, now, what if it was Palo Alto Realestate.com?
Now we're talking. I was talking to a very large domain owner who owns a lot of real estate domains, and I actually made on a sizable city about the same size as Boston. This past week, $125,000 offer, and my client was outbid for $175,000 on it. So that would definitely change greatly. That would be, I think, high 5 figures or lower 6-figure domain name if it said real estate instead of estate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. Adam, let's go over to you. Yep. What do you like on the list and why?
Well, I think that both Paige and Jeff must have woken up in a bad mood today, because this portfolio is not as bad as they're making it sound. I think it's got some great names in here, and he's got some great potential. And Oren, you can feel good about this list, and I'll tell you why. So when I look at a list, I look at Michael always sends us the Estabot list, and then I remove 3/4 of the columns that I actually care about. And I'm left with the actual domain, the appraised value, the search results, the number of ads, and the ad competition and the CPC. And based on that, I look at what would interest me. So Greek frozen yogurt has a CPC of $3.51. That's a pretty good CPC. Mm-hmm. The other one that's good, which nobody mentions, is West Side Home, also a good CPC at $2.17. So let's take a look at this again. So Delicious Shakes. Again, it's hard to spell. Delicious is not easy. I don't like the double S. Tasty Shakes would have been better, or something like Delicious Protein Shakes or gluten-free shakes. Something more specific in this case would have been better. So that's okay. Electronic Rebate. I like that name. There's going to be a lot of electronic rebates online, so I think it's great. Now, fan packages. I do a lot of things with the Dallas Cowboys and some other sports teams, so I know how much these fans pay for these fan packages.
Yeah, it's at least 4 figures.
And listen, I've seen
all the way up to 5 figures. Yeah.
And I put a lot of people on these fan packages. I know this name is a huge name. It's not a $500 name page. This name is at least a 20 to 25K name, no question about it. I could move it pretty fast if you wanted to. It's a good name, and I love it.
Wow. So you think you can move it for 20 to 25K?
Yeah, 15 probably minimally. I mean, it's a real good name, but I'd rather have Oren set up a thing, and I'll set him up with as an affiliate for some of the teams, where he can make $1,000 or $800 per person he sends through the packages. And what I like about it is there's no competition on it. You're looking at 5 cents a keyword, 5 cents a click. So I mean, we can corner the market pretty well on this.
But that requires him to either have type-in traffic on that, which he probably doesn't have too much type-in traffic, or build a website and get it ranked at the top so he's not buying search engine results.
Well,
but then you said
even better, because of some of the contacts I have, I can partner with some of these teams to bring leads through, and then we'll get the leads for them. I mean, it's great. You can even do local stuff in the little newspapers that almost charge nothing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. It's a great name, and to think it's not a really valuable name is, to me, it's crazy, because I'd love to have that name.
Okay.
Greek frozen yogurt.
Maybe you want to make Oren an offer, Adam.
I would, but I got so many things going on right now.
all right. Fair enough. But, all right. Greek frozen yogurt.
To do than I know what to do with.
You think Greek frozen yogurt is better than Greek froyo?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I like Greek frozen yogurt. Jeff's right. He should start having a little bit more Greek yogurt, because it's really good for you. It's got the good kind of bacteria, and he's right, at least 3K plus, no question about it. Fast firewall.
I stand corrected. Sorry to interrupt. I stand corrected. I think fan packages, you're right. Adam.
Yeah, no, hey, that's the cool thing about having multiple Sherpas. We all look at it differently, and we all think different things based on our own experience. But it's cool when a Sherpa says, yeah, you're right, I didn't look at that, or I didn't think about that option. To be honest, the first time I thought about it was fans, like ceiling fans. I'm like, why do I need a packaged ceiling fan? So,
Nope. It's a sports fan, and it's definitely big.
Cool.
Thanks, Jeff, for that.
Vote of confidence there.
We talk about that. Fast firewall. I mean, it's okay. It's not a bad name. You can get money for that. At least 2K for it anyway. Digi Postage. Love it. Much better than Mobi Postage. Mm-hmm. I can't stand anything that has Mobi on it because of the history of the domains. But Digi Postage, it's all digital postage, man. It's a good name.
It's a good name as a brandable for a company?
Definitely. No question about it. And some company's going to come to him.
What do you think? What would you place the value on the end user price on that one?
5K. 5K for now, but if it's built, much higher.
Sure, of course.
Qualified appraisers. I'm sour on appraisers because of all the domain appraisals that stink. But for real estate, it's a really good name for a company, no question about it. I would put that one higher than the 500 page, but I'd put it closer to 5K. West Side Home, high click, good search volume, and I would definitely keep that one in the 3 to 5K range. It's got it. Win big prizes. I can't tell you how many times I get a pop-up that says win big prizes. So, I mean, it's good. It's a good name. It's something to keep. Talk to lenders. It's definitely brandable. I like it. I think everybody wants to talk to lenders. I think it's also good brandable. Traveling Tech, not a bad name either. Be known as Traveling Tech. It'd look great on the side of a car, and I think it's a good name.
I like the alliteration, yeah.
And you could do it with a CH or with a K if you wanted to. Bitcoin banking. I don't like org normally, but for this it kind of fits it. So I like bitcoinbanking.org. I think it's not a bad name. It's certainly not as bad as they said. Now, let's get to Palo Alto Estates. A couple of people didn't like it, mainly Jeff and Paige. I think it's okay because it's got 10K exact matches. So 10K exact matches for Palo Alto Estates, you should be able to find a buyer for at least a K or 2K on that one.
So there's 10,000 people searching for Palo Alto Estates, that keyword phrase, every single month.
Yes. Oh, no. Sorry. Not 10 exact match searches in Google, not actual people searching.
10,000 search results for that phrase in Google's index. Yeah.
Yes. Which
Makes
is,
sense.
I mean, that's decent.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll get something for it.
Yeah.
And then the other two, the surgical ones, Hollywood Surgical and Las Vegas Surgical, I like them. I know Jeff put it at about, what, 2K, Jeff, or something, 2 to 3K?
I said I really didn't like it because San Diego, Pittsburgh, San Antonio, Vegas, and Sacramento aren't registered, right? So
I disagree again then because I like them. There's no places that are going to have more plastic surgery done than Hollywood or Las Vegas. So I think they're decent names. I think they're easily worth 2 to 3K each, no question about it. And again, depending.
Now, what if he's not getting any type in traffic, and what if he's not getting any offers on these, Adam? We've discussed this multiple times on the review.
Well, just because you're not getting any offers, you could do the Rick Schwartz thing and just sit around and wait for people to come to you like that lovely comic you passed or Howard passed around today. Or you can get out there and sell these things. I mean, people don't know they're even available. I'm sure I could find somebody to buy Hollywood Surgical.
Yeah.
I'm sure for at least 2 to 3K.
All right, so that bridges to the description. You're not done.
There's 2 more names left.
Sorry, bud. Go ahead.
Yeah, but there's also Vegas.
Names.
Vegas Surgical isn't even registered.
Sorry?
Vegas Surgical isn't registered. So if Las Vegas is, I mean, you'd think that Vegas would be.
So grab them both and sell them as a package. That's what I'd do. I'd sell Vegas Surgical or Las Vegas Surgical, and if I get 2 inquiries, I sell them both.
Yeah.
EYPR, airport code in Lithuania. Pretty much useless. AXNV. This one he can sell. He should probably approach the company. It's listed on the S&P, and it's selling at $251.30 a share as of about 15 minutes ago.
AXNV, I thought there was only 3 characters on the S&P.
I don't know. I Googled it. You'll see.
Oh.
Google it yourself.
All right.
NASDAQ stocks have 4 characters.
NASDAQ has 4, yeah.
Anyway, it's S&P, ASX 200, Inverse Daily, whatever.
So would you contact the company, or would you just wait? Because if you contact them...
No, on that one, I'm not waiting, because I'm not infringing on their trademark. I'm going to call them.
Oh.
So, I mean, and you're looking at a company that's $251 a share. I think they can afford to spend a couple grand on a domain name to unload it.
Good point.
And now I'm done.
Now you're done. Let me ask you a question. Oren provided some background information. He wrote, quote, I own a portfolio of about 375 domains. 40% were hand registered, 30% drops, and 30% purchased at auction. Most of which from the auction came in at under $120, many under $40. So he writes, I have a pretty bad case of domain investing ADD. I can't say that I've stuck with any theme or vertical for my domains. I just speculate on current event trends and recent domain sales and purchase accordingly as cheaply as possibly as I can. Constantly on the hunt and picking up new ones, but I haven't had enough time to focus on selling. Most of my past sales successes have been from people contacting and buying from me via the Park page or Whois, and have yet to have much success at auction or directly outbound selling to potential users. Then again, I probably haven't put much effort into this. So what he ended his statement by saying, could really use some advice as to the value, which you guys have done already, and then how to actively sell these domains at a reasonable price. I don't think Oren has inflated expectations about how much these domains are worth. He just want some guidance from you guys on how to actively sell these domains. Adam, let's start with you because you did provide, a lot of options, fan packages to start with. Can Oren contact you and somehow work with you on this domain?
Yeah, what I was going to say was, you said Oren's on a plane right now, right?
He is.
So, Oren, all I can say to you is that you're probably riding in coach. If you want to move up to first class, let's build out fan packages because it's a great name.
But you just mentioned it, that you didn't want to buy it because you don't have the time to build it out. How do you have the time to build it out with Oren?
I may want to, we were talking about a Shark Tank thing. This may be one of those where I'd be interested in investing in it to build it out and take a percentage or something like that. But I love the name. I know I could use this name and make money. It's a good name, so I'm not saying I'm ruling out buying it. We'll see how realistic his price is.
Okay, so let's say if Oren wanted to sell it and you didn't want to buy it right now, who might he contact to sell fan packages?
I have a Rolodex full of contacts that he could contact, or I could contact with him.
Would you broker it for him if you wanted to?
Yes, painfully yes. I hate to see it go because it's a cash cow.
All right, now what about some of these other ones? The West Side Home. Just look for any cities with West Side in it, like West LA or something like that, and contact realtors in that area?
Refers to themselves as West Side, and see what we can get. I mean, talk to lenders. I know somebody in LA who may be interested in that one. A lot of these things are very general, so he won't have that much of a tough time selling them. I mean, if he's active, but he's got ADD, which is the same thing all domainers have. They buy. They never develop. They don't focus, and that's the problem. Oren, you need to take time, concentrate on one, build out a business, and while you're doing that, you may be selling some of these other ones by accident.
Okay. Jeff, what kind of feedback do you have for Oren? Somebody like most of us who has ADD and bounces around a lot on great ideas, and that now he wants to start selling them. He doesn't have as many domains as Paige, so now he wants to not have as many, and he wants to move through these. What do you suggest he do?
I think there's a few things that the most basic that I would recommend would be to put as many of these on as many marketplaces and get as much exposure as possible. That's number one. That's the easiest and the quickest thing you can do. If he wants to go out there and actively pursue buyers, some of these surgical names would be pretty good. It's very easy to get public information of the doctors who are licensed in different states or cities. That's public information. So you can go to your local town hall in Hollywood and ask for it, and you just pay and you get that list. And you can start dialing for dollars. I mean, like Adam said, you just start calling some of these people and asking if they'd be interested in buying it. And you put a $3,000 to $5,000 price tag on it, so it's worth your time to make those calls and to make it happen.
Finally, I got a guy who believes in outbound dialing on this panel. Finally.
Dial for dollars. I mean, that's it. And even with condo rentals, the people you'd be calling are realtors. They're salespeople. They're out pitching all day long trying to get customers. So when you call them, as long as you're straightforward, honest, and to the point, they respect a good salesperson who's willing to pick up the phone and talk to them. So, you can get to the bottom of it pretty quick. They'll say, yes, I'm interested. What do you want for it? And it's just like property to them. And no, I don't. And you can go right through it. And realtors are very easy to find. They're very public. And again, you can go to your local town hall and get a list of the license holders for those, for brokers and realtors. So you start there with the GreekFrozenYogurt.com. Start looking at all the frozen yogurt companies that are in all the malls across America and start hitting them. I mean, and to ask them for 20 grand for this name, that's not a lot of money to them. That's a rounding error. So whether or not we think it's worth 3 or 5, I mean, you could ask a crooked number that's a lot more than market, and if it fits into their business model and what their plans are, that 20 grand really doesn't mean a thing. So they'd pay it. That would be that's my opinion.
Great. Paige, any final thoughts on advice for Oren with these domains and actively moving from passive to active selling?
I think on the ones that everyone's identified as having a lot of strong attributes, yes, try to sell them. On the other ones, I would just try to replace them with better names. But I think, Adam's comment about having a plan makes sense, because otherwise you just end up winning the auctions that everyone else left. And so you don't end up saying, I won out of 20 names I wanted this week, I won the 3 that I really liked. You say, I won the 3 that I could get. And then the number one attribute these names have when you're trying to sell them to somebody, really, what comes through on your sales call is the number one thing I like about these names is I own them and I want to get rid of them. But I think the ones that they've identified, you're selling them to someone because they would want the name, not just because you have it for sale. Another couple ideas are he's got this one, Hybrid Ads, which is actually a company uses the typo HYBRY Hybrid Ads to put ads on green automobiles. So it's kind of tricky there because they've kind of already grabbed the business model, grabbed it, and so I guess you could sit there and say if you're going to drop it, you might as well sell it to them. But it's just kind of a tricky call to have, you know what I mean? Because especially if he got it after they got it, then it's really just a weird call to have. And so let's see, what else did I say about? I think I had the same opinions about everybody else. I think I would, pick the 4 best, and the 4 best should take care of all the rest.
Yeah.
And so, go for if you don't find a real good buyer soon, work on the 4 best names. That would be my recommendation.
I don't think you found 4 that you liked that were the best.
I think we talked about Greek frozen yogurt and fan packages and maybe the appraiser's name. But, Tacos Express.
I love tacos.
I didn't spend much time trying to get someone else. Now, the West Side Home, I will say, what I found on the names that we have that end in home, the singular, you're almost better off to do home repairs, decorating, designing, and appeal to the people that own a home in that area as opposed to just saying it's a substitute for real estate or a substitute for a home's name, because it's almost more of a community of people that already have a home there and the products and services around their home. So whether it's West Side New York or West Side LA or somewhere else, I would go that route as opposed to maybe real estate.
Yeah. All right, good advice. And
I know that dude. You used to work at the All American Burger.
What's up?
This guy did. The taco stand.
He's
Hi, Frank.
guest cameoing. What's up, Frank?
Appearance.
How is everybody?
No, let me take it out.
Good, Frank.
How you doing, bud?
Oh, you guys look good. Oh, it's nice to see everybody.
Good to see you too. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. Just hi
All
and
right,
bye.
Frank, we need one tip before you walk away. What should people be looking for with all the new TLDs? One quick tip.
Buy them all at Uniregistry as a safekeeping registrar. Good thing coming. We're hard at work.
Good
Hard at work.
advice. Good advice. Thanks, Frank. All right. So, Paige, I identify exactly with what you're saying. Sometimes I jump into auctions because I feel in love with it, with the domain name, and I would totally have bought Taco Express because I love tacos so much, and that's the kind of name I sit on for 20 years and never get any offers on, and really need to start my own taco truck, but I'm never going to. But good advice.
Well, it could be, it actually could be Taco Sex Press. So, maybe, I don't know what you're going to do with that.
See, you were talking about having multiple options for selling a domain name. A lot of buyers.
If you put it in Estabot and you parse it that way, maybe you'll get a higher value. So.
Good advice. All right, thanks to Oren for submitting his portfolio for review. We hope that this was helpful, and definitely get in contact with Adam. He's got some ideas for you. Adam@dcg.com. He's never shy about sharing his email. We're going to move on.
Keep your chin up, Oren. Keep your chin up, buddy.
Keep your chin up. And if you contact Adam, you might be able to talk him into selling, so into buying it. Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to the marketplace list. This section is sponsored by NameJet. We'll be reviewing 25 domain names heading to auction soon. So if you like any of the domain names that's discussed on this show, you need to click on the link and put in a minimum bid to be a part of the auction. If there's more than one bid for $69, you're pretty much guaranteed you won't have to buy the domain name, because the first person with the $69 bid automatically is the high bidder, and then you come in, and if there's hundreds of bids like NameJet often has on the really good domain names, it's not going to sell for $69. But I like to put my $69 bid in so I can watch what they're going to sell for, because I can't get access to that list unless I put a bid in. The links below only go to NameJet for tracking purposes. They're not commissionable links. The list that NameJet submitted starts with AmericanProfits.com and ends with PrimarySchools.org. Jeff, let's start with you this time. What do you like on this NameJet list, and why?
I saw 4 domains that stuck out to me that I liked a lot, and I think I like Clown School a lot. Online education is always very popular online, even though if you're starting to become a clown, or maybe mimes fall into that, I'm not sure, but the world needs clowns and the world needs laughter. I see good value on the wholesale market. I can't imagine it going for more than $1,000 or so. I'd probably say retail, if you got the right buyer, probably like $5,000 or $8,000 would be my estimation on that. Then there's two. Give me that is a common saying. It's a call to action. We sell a lot of those for around $20,000 to $30,000 each. I don't think this one is that perfect because it's kind of hard to spell. It's not a very good call to action like "Hey there" or "How are you" or something like that. And then there's Happy Thought. That's not so great. If it had an S on the end, it would be exponentially better, but I still like it. And then the last one that I seem to like was Criminal-Justice. I don't usually like anything with a hyphen in it, but it does have, like Adam was talking about on another name, a great CPC. I think it was about $21. So it does have a low search volume, but again, criminal justice is another portion of online education. Big industry, big business. I think it'd be a pretty good domain.
All right, and what do you like that one for? If in the retail market, if you listed it for sale on domainnamesales.com, for example, what would you price it at?
I'd probably shoot for about, because I'm guessing I'd have to look and see if criminaljustice.com is developed, and if it's not, who owns it. And then this would be probably your third or fourth best. Probably about $5,000 or $8,000 I'd put on it.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Jeff. Hey, Adam, let's go over to you. What do you like on the NameJet list and why?
I feel bad because I don't think I'm going to be agreeing with Jeff at all, and I like the guy, so.
That's okay. We can all like each other and not agree.
I'm sorry in
I saw Adam
advance.
shaking his head while I was talking.
I'm sorry in advance, Jeff. It's going to be a rough day for you. So I don't know what he's thinking about with clown school. Didn't Latona go to the Harvard Business School when he got out? I think Toby's maybe at that school, but not
Right.
sure.
You don't like clown school, is that what you're saying?
Sorry?
You don't like clown school, is that what
No,
you're
I
saying?
like it because it'd be a fun name to own. I mean,
It would be a fun name to own, but yeah, what do you? There is a I did look up that one because it did strike me as interesting, and theclownschool.com is actually a clown school that you can go and learn to be a clown.
well, that's exciting. Maybe someday I'll achieve that goal. I own mimes.com, and they're much more quiet than clowns. I'm like Kramer. I don't like clowns at all. I think I'm going to offend some clowns, but I think anyone that likes to play with kids and dress up in makeup is a problem. But anyway, that's a different story. I hate clowns. Canadians only. Oh, American Profits. Let's start with that one. Not a good name because lately none of American companies are making a lot of American profits. Canadians only. We don't. We do have a lot of pride, so I think that's a decent name. I don't really think it's a name that people will go for high on. So I'll put that one at $3K, $3 to $5K. Clown School, I'll stick with Jeff and put it at $5K. And then I'm going to drop.
Adam, there's a World Clown Association at worldclown.com with conventions, membership, news, and history.
Well, this could be a post-career choice for you when you're ready to retire from all the money at university.
Can you download that association list and then email every single one of them saying clownschool.com is available?
I don't think I could take the newsletter seriously.
It's only $40 a year to be a member, and $30 a year if you're over the age of 60. So I definitely do have some retirement options here.
The only animal I can make out of balloons is a snake.
Right.
So I don't like criminal-justice. I think it's horrible.
Because it has a dash? Why is it horrible?
Yeah, because it has a dash. Yeah, I don't like it. Give me that. It's okay, but it's got a negative connotation. I mean, I once dated a girl and I didn't understand. Took her to Buffalo. She was from Texas, and we went there, and she said, "Oh, I want one of those." And I thought she was being a little bit rude, but then I realized later that's just how they spoke down there, and I misinterpreted what she said. She said, "Buy me that." And I thought, well, that's a little bit forward. I got used to it, and her and I are still friends, by the way. She's still on my Facebook.
Broken hearts shouldn't determine value.
Sorry?
I said broken hearts shouldn't determine value, Adam.
It's not a broken heart. Give me that. I like this one a lot, surprisingly enough. How to stay rich. A lot of people get successful. A lot of people make money, and then they piss it all away because they've never had money before. They don't know how to manage it. If you wrote a book or taught a course or did an ebook on how to stay rich, I think it would be very beneficial to a lot of people. So I'm going to put that one as one of my good ones to watch for, How to Stay Rich. School fights. while I'm not a proponent of school fights, I'm not a proponent of bullying. There's a lot of videos on school fights and nonsense out there. So I'm not saying set up hobos to fight or set up anything to fight so you can film it. I'm saying you can do a site that may have some of that stuff. Again, I'm not really for it. Maybe something to do about stopping school fights would be better. That's the area that I would go. But I think that's a good name, and I'll put that one at about 3 to 5K as well. I also think Random Photos is a great name for a photo site. A lot of people are using Instagram. A lot of people love Instagram, so I think that Random Photos would be a really cool site for pictures. Now people are going to go out and register random pics, random photos, and all the other things at Uniregistry to get those GTLDs.
Random.photos, yeah.
Primaryschools.org. Good name. Organization is good, and I don't know if I believe you guys. Do you guys call them primary schools up until grade 6 there, or grade 8?
Elementary school.
We call them elementary or primary schools here. So for me, it's a good name. Definitely a 2K plus name. But if I have to pick my best on this list, I'm going to avoid Clown School, and I'm going to go to How to Stay Rich, because I think there's huge potential with people that get rich and don't know how to stay rich. And I know lots of people are like that make money and they don't know how to manage it properly. So it'd be also a great name for a financial consultant or a financial advisor, How to Stay Rich.
That could be your third book, Adam.
Yeah, maybe. I got 2 already. That's good enough.
You got 2 coming out. All right, Paige, let's go over to you. What do you like on this name jet list? What are you going to put bids on? That's what I want to know.
Well, at first I went through it and I said, you know what? If I only had like 2 minutes to go, bid deadline's coming up, would my life be different if I didn't bid on anything? and it probably wouldn't be. But when I looked at the list, I liked the same 2 Adam just mentioned. Random Photos, I thought, for the social aspect of it. The idea of photo roulette, or just right. People just wanting to have a passive experience online where you could go look at photos of anything online in the world. But some people are like, I don't want to think. Just show me stuff randomly. So that's why I thought it had the appeal. I liked the How to Stay Rich because, again, it wasn't as much of a copycat of How to Get Rich. So it kind of opened up the idea of, I do want to see that. I do want to read that. So those are my favorite 2 in terms of wanting to get them really cheap and then ride their potential up high. The ones I thought had kind of wholesale value were probably the 2 legal ones. Corporate defense attorney, workers' compensation lawyer. You do run into having attorneys, workers' compensation. You have the idea of workers' comp, but it's still the right word, workers' compensation lawyers. So in terms of putting something in inventory, where again, I'm going to try to buy it if no one else shows up, I thought those 2 had appeal with the wholesale, as well as I thought Gimme That, even though it wasn't a great phrase, I thought it was a 2-word phrase that had some appeal. So in terms of putting that in inventory, I would do it. I don't think it has the same opportunity to take a $100 name and be $5,000, that the first 2 did. But I think it's got some appeal. So as I look at my wholesale, and then Brain Sense, I didn't like it at first. I put a 0 to 750 on it, but maybe I could be talked into it, and maybe the same with Boutique Domains. But those were the ones I was really stretching for.
All right, and I forgot to bring it up on Oren's portfolio, and I'll bring it up at the same time as this one. I didn't really see any trademark issues on any of the domains in Oren's portfolio or on this portfolio, which is something that all domain investors should evaluate, whether they're buying a domain that might have a trademark already registered and if that's going to affect their investment going forward. Do you guys see any trademark issues, any legal issues that people should be aware about on these domains?
I think Oren was probably smart and took out those before he submitted them.
It could be.
Yeah, Oren did have some issues, but Esteban flagged Canadians only with the Sony trademark, which I can't figure out, but I don't see anything remotely close to that. And then the one I mentioned before, that hybrid ads, I think is being used on Oren's, but on the NameJet, no, I didn't see anything with the trademark.
All right.
Just one last thing before you go on. I do like corporatedefenseattorney.com on the NameJet list.
Corporatedefenseattorney.com. It's a long one, but you like it for that long phrase.
I do like it because corporate defense attorneys make a lot of money, so I like it.
They do, but don't you think that corporate defense attorneys are usually word of mouth referred and Why would they want a exact match domain when Higgins, Schmidt?
Yeah, but Mike, you've still got maybe 12,500 corporate defense attorneys that make over $500,000 a year. So I mean, we talk about long tail and little micro markets, and that's more than, I think, a micro market. I mean, I think there's a lot of people there. So
thanks, Paige. I thought he was picking on me too.
Hey, it's my job to ask the questions that everybody has and to get you guys to share your knowledge. I'm just asking a clarifying question.
Like corporate defense attorney, Twin Cities, or something like that. I think it's still even though it's 3 words, it's still the right 3 words. It's not defense attorney corporate or, corporate defend attorney or something like that we've seen on different things. I mean, it's the right 3 words, so that's why.
Yeah, I would agree with Paige.
Wow.
I think that might be a first.
I think it's also a common. Oh, there you go. Look at that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over the self-applause there, Jeff. What were you saying?
I was saying I think there's a common misconception when people talk about a corporate attorney or a corporate lawyer is that there's many small businesses across the United States and even in Canada that could be 2 or 3 people that need a corporate defense lawyer. So it's not necessarily Clarence Darrow getting them off or some big-time lawyer. It could be a small-town guy helping a trucking company or something like that. So I definitely see value in that, and I'm surprised I missed that one. I like that one. I think that's my favorite right now.
See?
Next to Clown College, of course. Next to Clown
I
College.
still like Clown College, too. I'm going to go put my minimum bid on that one. I want to see what it goes for.
Clown School, I'm sorry.
Clown School.
I think these guys are easily influenced.
Well, I loved it that you guys thought you disagreed on Clown School, but you both put the same number on it. So I had you guys agreeing on it.
That doesn't mean I'd build it out as a business or Jeff would. It just means it's a decent name and it's specific.
I love it when you guys disagree and then it comes full circle and like, yeah, that's not that bad. I like
it. Sometimes, like you said, it takes seeing somebody else's perspective.
It does.
I mean, a lot of times I have to look at it from Paige's or Jeff or whoever's point of view to see what they're thinking.
Right. And that's why, people ping each other on certain domain names that they're looking at to be able to get another opinion, or they go to conferences like Traffic to be able to talk to people and get their opinion about deals they're working. Valuable insights. All right, Sherpas, we're entering the lightning round, Paige. All right, what do you got to say, Paige?
What's that?
What do you got to say?
If you think it's tough for us to instantly catch on to what these names mean, it's important to remember when you do your outbound calling, you can't assume that those guys are going to get it right away too. I mean, you've been thinking about it. You've driven home. I've got this plan. It makes sense. It's obvious. It's obvious. It's obvious. And I think it's good to realize that if we can't really have it hit us real quick, you got to think it's even harder for your outbound person to catch it right away.
Right. Yeah. Is it Dad Smart or is it Dad's Mart? Like, I couldn't figure that one out. All right, guys. We're playing Name That Price. Adam Dicker is the reigning champ. Let's see who takes the crown today, and if Jeff might be able to get a W for domain name sales. No pressure, Jeff. There actually is a lot of pressure. Is Frank sitting right there still? All right, here's how the game works. I name 3 domain names that sold within the past 12 months. I have verified that they have sold to an end user. Without looking up sales volume, past sales, anything on the internet, you're going to write down on a piece of paper what you think that sale was for. Basically, you're trying to say, if it sold to an end user, how much do I think this domain name is worth? Paige, how are you ready, buddy?
I'm always ready.
Good. Hold that up. First up, moms.com.
Oh.
This was a sale about a year ago. No. Keep it up there, Paige. Moms.com. Hopefully you don't remember the exact price. What do you think it sold for? Write it down on a piece of paper and hold it up when you're ready.
Jeff probably sold it.
Jeff did not sell it. I try not to pick Canadian domains because Adam has a lock on those, and I try not to pick domains where somebody is involved directly, from what I can tell, in the sale.
I think Cito sold that one.
All right, Jeff has his answer up. He's going for $300,000. Paige is going for $47,000, and Adam is going for $200,000. And the correct answer is $252,000. Jeff gets the W, barely squeezing out Adam for the win there. Nice job. It was Cito. I was afraid that somebody would remember that, and it's most likely the vice president of sales for domain name sales.
I'm going to have to put up a challenge on that one because he knows too much about sales.
All right, he's off to a quick start here. Nice
Luckily,
one. So moms.com connects
'cause that would've
women
been
of all
out.
stages of motherhood to support and makes moms' lives a little bit happier. It's a nice looking site. It's good to see.
I thought it went for less than it should, but I just forgot how less than it should it went for.
Yeah. So what do you think it should have gone for?
I think if it went for $500,000, I wouldn't be surprised.
You wouldn't be surprised at 500K.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends on who's buying it and if they have funding and, $250,000. That's a lot of money for a domain name. I don't know. What do you think, Jeff? Was that a good sale, a good buy? At 252?
I think you're targeting one of the biggest and most purchasing segments in the U.S. I was lucky enough just to have I have a 6-month old at home, and I can't tell you the amount of stuff that I didn't realize even existed that is now in my home. So, I think I actually started writing a 5 and I turned it to a 3. I think it easily could have been a 500K sale, but again, it's still very broad and it's not very specific. I mean, a name like Baby might be better than Moms because you're not really thinking of the mom, you're thinking of the child, but it's kind of like hand in hand with each other.
Yeah.
But great sale nonetheless, I think. Hats off to them.
Yeah. All right, next up, the domain name is radius.com. Radius, as in, half of the diameter of a circle, radius. What do you guys think it's sold for?
Do we have to guess the exact price, or can we just be around it?
Nicely played, Paige Howe. Radius. Write down your answer. Hold it up when you're ready. Jeff is going for 46K. Paige is going for 13,250. He modified his. And Adam is going for $40,000. Wow. So Adam and Jeff, they're neck and neck here again. Wait a second. So the answer is $100,000 sold by domain agents.
Wow.
So
that's a great
Jeff
sale.
has single-handedly locked out the competition of this. The background on Radius is that it's a data-powered application that helps marketers.
Hold on. What did Jeff have?
46,000. You were close again. I'm saying, yeah. It helps marketers find, target, and understand their best B2B prospects. So they're taking this Radius, if you're in the center and you're trying to find all the people around you that might be good leads, they're a lead generation company. It's a nice brandable domain name for an area lead generation that has a lot of money. What do you guys think of the $100,000 sale? Fair price?
I think it is. I think it's a great sale. A very good brand like that is good. I think one of the things I just didn't like when I heard it is the spelling of it. But I think it's very good. I think of a radar screen, and I also think of like geometry back in high school. So I think it's a good sale. I think they got every penny of the value out of it.
Yeah. All right. Good point. Paige, why did you think that it was only worth $13,250?
Well, I just thought it was one of those one-word names that we've seen recently. There seems to be a lot of inventory that has come out. So I was kind of going more for a industry sale or a wholesale sale or hey, I just want to sell some one words. I think they definitely top-ticked it with the best use of it. And I just, as another comment, I think for the buyer, to spend $100,000, I don't know how much they funded their company with, but it's just going to benefit them so much more than going with Radii or Radip or Padius, or branding something or something like that. I mean, I just think even though the word doesn't have a lot of great meanings, you're just saying it once and people understand it. And, compared to a brandable or a Web 2.0 thing, I think they did a great job.
Yeah. All right. Adam and Paige, do you want to go one more just to see if Jeff shuts you out completely, or should we just call it a W right now?
Jeff's willing to go winner take all on the last one. Winner take all.
I don't know. He's never been on the show. Is it fair for him to give up his crown?
He's a poker player. He'll probably go all in.
Are you all in?
Oh, absolutely. I'll go all in.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. We're going all in. Winner take all in the last one. All right. Here is the last domain name. CookingLessons.com. CookingLessons.com. What did it sell for? Write down your answer. And this is tough because these guys can't look up the cost per click. They can't look up and see how many searches there are. They can't, a lot of this is gut feel at its best. Okay, so Page House says $125,000. Adam says $15,000. There's quite a margin of difference between just you two. And I think you've got a square root. What is that, Jeff? 16,000?
23,661 and 47 cents. I'm gonna go with that.
23,000. Okay, so look at the spread that we have here. Did I just screw you up, Paige? Like now you're just going astronomically high because I went really high in the first two?
And Jeff and I are close again.
You are close again.
So.
Yeah.
You're on the same order of magnitude. You're within a few thousand, yeah. So what? Before I even tell you the answer,
who's the all-in winner?
Before I even tell you the answer, I want to know what's going through your mind there, Paige.
I think, if I remember correctly, it was a big sale. So I put a big number on it because it's people spend a lot of money. We're still talking about 0.0000001% of the amount of money being spent in some of these industries. So I thought it was a high number, so I went with a high number.
I think I remember that sale too, as being a pretty big one and being surprised by it. But
Mike, you're either asking that because Paige was bang on with his guess, or he was so far out there he should be on a UFO. Who is the all-in winner?
And the all-in winner is, drumroll please, Adam Dicker. He sneaks in from behind and takes the W. It sold for $16,000 on Afternic. I think it was one of the best sales available. Is that not a great buy at $16,000?
It is a good buy, but cooking classes is better.
Right, they're going to create, so they only have a landing page up so far, but they're going to create video cooking lessons for people to sign up and pay. I think it's a great subscription as a service. My wife loves to cook, cooking classes, cooking lessons. It's arguable which one is better, but definitely a good sale. Adam was right on the money. Jeff, within rounding error, at $23,000. So you guys were both
really close on all of them, though. I mean, kudos to Jeff for his Virgin tour on this show. Great going.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So I didn't even need the tiebreaker. All right, we're going to move on. We got 30 seconds apiece to promote anything you want.
I think we should have a tiebreaker. I think Adam should put it all back on the line one more time.
Oh. Should we have... He did put it on the line. He had the W. We should go. All right, I'm going to throw Paige out. We're just going to have an Adam-Jeff runoff. What do you think, Adam? You willing to put it back on the line?
Leave Paige in. It's fine. It's all on the line. Go. Paige is in.
All right, this is it. This is the final one. We got to move on, all right? Final domain. Winner take all. All right, the domain name is Seek. SEEQ.com. Seek. SEEQ.com. What do you think it's sold for? Paige is going for $75,000.
Is that not good when you laugh?
It's great, buddy. I love it. I think I can't tell you if you're right on the money because I haven't seen theirs. Jeff is going for $31,400. I can laugh at that one too, Paige, if you'd like. And Adam is going for $4,500. Is that correct, Adam? Did I get that number correct?
Yes, it is.
All right. The correct answer is $33,000. Jeff takes the crown today. It's a Seattle company that transforms data into information through software and services. So I guess they seek the truth and they couldn't afford the K, so they bought the Q. Jeff, congratulations. You won it the first time and you captured the crown one more time. Now, what appears to be a multitude of domain names like this that are a word, but then they change one of the letters. I was watching Shark Tank recently, and there was a company called Play, Pley, that rents Legos to families. You might want to look into this, Jeff, in a couple of years. They rent Legos, you build them, and then you mail them back, and they put them through a dishwasher and a dryer, and then it basically cleans them to FDA standards, and then they mail them out to somebody else. So you're never stuck with, like, loads and loads, closet full of Legos. What do you think about these domains that are sort of brandables, that you need to say It's Seek, but with a Q, not with a K. Are they
I think
increasing?
going back to what Paige said, if you can get the proper spelling, then you already are way ahead of the game. You're not only trying to get what your company does, but you're actually getting people to remember the alternative spelling. So I think you need to look at what is available and pony up the extra money for the proper spelling if it's affordable. If it isn't affordable, maybe SEEK was or SEAK was extremely expensive. In that case, both of those, that name is kind of hard to spell anyway. So why not go for the Q? And maybe that was a lot less expensive. But looking at like Tumblr, I mean, I know it's work, but I wonder how much traffic is lost to the proper spelling in many other companies.
Right. Adam, what do you think?
I don't really care, to be honest with you.
You don't really like these domain names that are misspelled?
No, listen, I think they're okay. I just, listen, Google didn't make any sense. Yeah, a lot of these things don't make any sense. So as long as they can build their brand, they're going to put some marketing behind it, I think anything can be successful.
Yeah, but you would have priced it at $4,500 if you owned it.
I mean, well, I don't know, because I would have pronounced it as Seek, so I don't know. But, hey, I lost. I'm not going to be a spoiled sport about it. I'm just a little aggravated.
All right, drinks on me in New York just for losing that, Adam. Paige, why did you put a $75,000 price tag on it?
Just because I think we've seen these go for bigger money, and so, hey, that's what I thought. I put a big number. It's funny because the pronounceable, brandable, whatever misplaced letter ones came about because people couldn't get the good ones because they didn't want to pay that much money. But then so many people were buying the 4-letter ones that sounded like something that it brought a wholesale market to those, which pushed all their prices up. So then they ended up paying about as much for the substitute as they probably could have paid for a real one. So great sale for the seller.
Yeah.
If the buyer's happy, again, we're still selling these things at nickels and dimes over with the ultimate buyer knows they're going to get out of it. So for them, it was just a quick decision. Yeah, they would have liked it for 50 or 20 instead of 35, but buyer's happy, seller did great.
And I often see domain name investors that will price a domain name like this at $75,000, pretty much double what they'd like to sell it for. They'd be completely happy at $33,000, let's say, but they're going to double the price on the first offer and then hopefully negotiate to someplace in the middle. Is that what you see happening as well?
No, I think it takes someone who's already pre-decided that they're going to buy these 4-letter names, and they're waiting around to sell them for $20,000 to $30,000. This isn't a flipper. This isn't someone who's like, well, I won it on NameJet for $1,200. It's my biggest name. I got to try to get out of it. What are some end users I can call? This is someone who's just said, the guy's probably got another job, does something else for a living, or and it says, you know what, I'm really going to try to max out what I get on this name. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why the perspective of the seller is almost one of the most important factors in the price of a domain name, even as much as the quality of the domain name. Sometimes it's the perspective of the seller, I find.
Great point. All right, 30 seconds apiece to promote anything you want. Any sales that you have, any promotions that you have going on, any place you're going to be where you'd like to meet up with people. Let's start with you, Paige.
Come on down to the outlet. We're doing a seasonal theme, dads, grads, and weddings. So dads, grads, and weddings, we'll probably have everything under $200. So come on down to the outlet.
Go to DomainOutlet.com. I see over your shoulder, not theoutlet.com, right?
Right. Come down to DomainOutlet.com. That's just what I call it.
DomainOutlet.com. Jeff, what do you got going on? Anything you want to promote?
We do. We actually, this past week, have come out with a few new updates on our site. One is we call timed reminders, so you can actually set a reminder to call somebody at a specific time of day rather than just on that day. That's helping our brokers sell more names. We actually have a team now that speaks just under 10 languages, so 9 languages, and we're working on time zones so we can go after each individual lead based on their time of day rather than just kind of on our time of day. We're also going to be attending Traffic in a couple of weeks. I unfortunately won't be there, but Dan Adamson and Mohammed Khan will be attending. So if you'd like to get a hold of them, their email addresses are Dan at Domain Name Sales and Mo at Domain Name Sales to have a sit down. And we're always looking for new and great customers to give us an opportunity to work on their domains and help sell them and evaluate them and everything else under the sun.
Awesome. So if people want to have you evaluate their portfolios, what's the best way to go about doing that to have you represent them?
They can contact me at Jeff@DomainNameSales.
Okay. And you want them to send a spreadsheet or just send maybe their top 10? How do you prefer to work?
Typically what we do is we ask people to create an account with us and move their domains and park them with us, and then we put our for sale links on them, and then as the links come in, we can definitely have discussions as to what we think each domain is worth. What we don't really do is when someone sends us a portfolio of 10,000 names, appraise every one of them and do that. If someone really wanted that, that would probably be a pretty costly undertaking. So we're happy to offer the advice when the buyer comes in, evaluate the need for the buyer, who he is, and give you an idea of what the market looks like and what we feel like the domain is worth at the time of the inquiry, and go from there.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing Dan and meeting Mohammed at Traffic next week. Adam, anything you want to promote?
Well, I'd like to know how you're going to buy me drinks Thursday night if the drinks are provided free. But
bam!
I would like to promote Jeff since he came on here and did such a great job. And
thank you, sir.
I'd like to tell people that when I had that issue with domain name sales, Jeff was extremely courteous and worked to resolve it right away. And we could use more professionals in the industry like Jeff. And Paige, well, you sucked at the review today, I think. But I love it anyway.
Thank you.
You were great.
I'm sorry, I had my mute button on. What was that?
No problem. You're great, buddy. You're great. Promoting nothing really, except I just registered howtostaypoor.com, and that'll be the opposite of how to stay rich. Negative things that you can do to stay poor, and then the other one I registered is how to not stay poor. So there you go.
There you go, double negative. All right, thanks to Oren Arbit for submitting his portfolio for review and making a generous donation to help us all find a cure for cancer. Thanks to NameJet for submitting their portfolio and sponsoring the Domain Sherpa review. And thanks again to our Domain Sherpas for sharing their experience, their insights, disagreeing about domain names, learning from each other, and letting us all be a part of it. Thank you all. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day, Mike. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.